When you think of Swedish football, you think of teams like Malmo and Djurgardens, who combined have a total of 35 Swedish league titles. But you never think about a team called IK Sirius because, quite frankly, they've never achieved anything. In fact, they've only ever won one trophy, and that was back in 2016 when they won the Superettan to get promotion. But guys, I've had requests spanning over the last 12 months to rebuild IK Sirius, so I think it's finally time that I did. So for the first time ever on this channel, today I'm taking charge of IK Sirius with one goal in mind. Win them their first ever Champions League to crown them the best team in the world. But this time, guys, there's a little catch. No transfers, no youth academy, no scouting system. I am only allowed to sign free agents. So here is the starting team that we're going to be working with in Season 1. And off first glance, guys, it's not really very promising, is it? But as you can see, guys, the average age of their best players are very low. In fact, there's only 2 or 3 players above 25 years old. And it gets better because some of these youngsters could turn into absolute ballers. For example, Joachim Persson, a Swedish left midfielder, only 20 but 65 rated. Their Swedish right midfielder, Noel Milliskog, only 2063 rated. And there's Danish striker Yusuf Salek, only 2061 overall. Definitely the weaker one out of the 3 I've showed you, but definitely got potential at the same time. But we do only have 2 mil to spend in Season 1 with IK Sirius. However, as we all know, that is only going to be spent on free agents, and with that comes a couple of rules. The first one being, each and every season, I'm allowed a maximum of 3 signings. And I can only sign players as high rated as our highest rated player. So in our case, that will be Daniel Stenson, who's 66 overall. So whilst the overall goal should be to make this team the world's best, I feel like for the next 2 or 3, maybe 4 years, the goal should be to get as much growth out of these players as humanly possible. That way we can use this budget to bring in better players, therefore improving the team, therefore taking us one step closer to our end goal with this squad. But first things first, we've got to mess with it tactically, and I'm actually going to keep the 4-3-3 attacking variation. Everybody, as you can clearly see, is playing in their natural position, so it just makes sense. And we're going wing play this time, guys. To be honest, there's not really a tactical vision that really works that well with the 4-3-3, but I found that the wing play is the most effective. And after meddling around just a little bit, guys, this is, in my opinion, our strongest team heading into Season 1. But as you can see, guys, there are some things we've got to sort out. For example, our cam is a right winger, our left winger is a left midfielder, and our right winger is a right midfielder. But don't worry, guys, I'm already one step ahead of it. I've already got them all on training plans to become the position that they're currently playing in. But with us only being able to sign players 66 rated on that free agent list and only being able to make 3 of them, the question is, where are we actually going to put this 2 million? I think a new goalkeeper should be on the cards because the ones that we've currently got right now are a little bit stinky. And I wouldn't mind a younger defender than Castergren. I mean, he's in his mid-20s, but I've seen his development plan and it's not looking very decent. Luckily, though, I found his replacement already, ladies and gents. Yasim Gaber, only 20, 62 overall, 6 foot tall. He may not be good now, but he could turn into a decent player in the future. I've also found another centre-back, guys, 20-year-old Patrick Payder. I mean, he's only 62 overall, but he's 6'4". I reckon this guy has a little bit of potential to turn into a monster. But don't worry, guys, I know we still need a keeper. That's why I'm signing Alias Rafni Olafsson, only 22, 66 rated, actually better than our current keepers right now, so this one just makes sense. And just like that, guys, with the signing of Olafsson, that's our first transfer window of IK Sirius done and dusted. Well, it is for signing players anyway, because I am loaning out basically half the squad just to make sure that the players I want getting game time actually get game time. And I've just realised that this loan list includes a 54 rated 15-year-old Hugo Anderson Mallet. I mean, maybe I've got to keep my eye on this guy because he could fit into the team at some point in the future. But there's more good news. Highest training to become an attacking midfielder is complete. Is he going to go up in overall? Yes, he does. 64 rated now. Lovely stuff. But on the other hand, our right midfielder's training to become a right winger is going to take another 12 weeks to complete. And it'll take 14 weeks for Persson to become a left winger, so right now we can't really do anything about that. We've just got to keep an eye on them, and when the training's done, I'll sort it out off camera. I mean, we're not going to be doing anything outlandish or anything spectacular, but that's not our main goal. Our main goal for the first 4 or 3 years, guys, is making sure we get the best growth possible out of all these players. Because once that starts happening, we can then bring in better players, because right now we can only bring in 66 rated players, and that's not really going to help us long term, is it? But but I've got strong suspicions by the end of this season we're going to have players in the high 60s, maybe even low 70s. If that is the case, though, that's really good news. And I was right, you know, we've got a 71 rated player now in Olofsson, and majority of the rest of these players have improved to the point where they're high 60s. That's a really good start. These stats, however, guys, are absolutely stinky. Not one person scored more than 10 goals this year, man. That's ridiculously bad. But looking at the team, guys, everybody's sharp, everybody's happy, so maybe we've actually done decent in the league despite what those stats say. And you know what, guys, this isn't bad at all. We are 8th in the Allsvenskan in our first year in it. I mean, there's still a long way to go before we're the best like Malmo are right now, but it's a step in the right direction. As for the League Cup, we made it to the quarters before IFK Varnamo knocked us out. I should also note, guys, the Swedish league runs a little bit differently from the top 5 leagues like the Prem and the Serie A. As you can see, we're at the end of our first season and it's December. Usually that's the halfway point, isn't it? That is something we're going to have to keep tabs on going forward, but looking at this team right now, I would say Season 1's objective has definitely been complete. We have got a lot of growth out of this team right now. And considering what the rules are in this video, that's really good news because we can now bring in players at 71 overall or below now. But I think I'm going to have a little bit of difficulty figuring out which positions to buy for, man, because honestly, every player in this team's proven why they belong in it. But before we go any further with IK Sirius, if you are enjoying this free agents only video, consider leaving this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you are new around here. Now here we are, guys, season number 2 of IK Sirius, and we've had a little bit of a boost in our budget. 4 million euros in total. And I've gone through everybody's development plans. I know who's improving, but more importantly, I know who's kind of stood still right now. And as it goes, everybody apart from one player is actually still improving, and that one player is left back 29-year-old Dennis Widgren. So that means we will be looking for a new left back. However, as for the rest of the team, I reckon we just find the highest rated players we can possibly bring in and then go from there, because it'd just be a waste of 3 transfers, wouldn't it? But I've just realised something, guys. I've gone through this free agents list and I'm seeing a lot of players that I'd see in Season 1, and that's because, frankly, guys, we are still technically in Season 1, so it hasn't refreshed yet. So technically speaking, we're going to have 2 transfer windows in the same calendar year, which doesn't really bode well for us because we're going to be picking off the scraps of what's left from Season 1. But there is still a decent left back here. Homin Ahmed, 24, 70 overall. He's definitely better than our current left back, so I'm signing this guy up no problem. And we've got lucky with this one. Reiko Lopez, 21, 69 overall, so we can indeed sign him up. He's definitely going to improve our defense and then some. And finally, I wasn't even looking for midfielders, but I found Dyer McLean. He's 20, he's 66 overall. I'm actually not certain if he fits into the team yet. However, I'm just going to sign him because he's a decent player anyway. And just like that, guys, that wraps up Season 2's transfer window. But once again, guys, I'm one step ahead. I'm sending all 4 of these players out on loan this year just in case they take game time off players I don't want them to take game time off. Because going into Season 2, guys, this is how the team is looking, and I reckon we're in for a really good year. I reckon we're going to go from 8th in the league to the top 4. Especially with the signings we've made, we've bolstered our defense and then some, and improved our midfield too. Not to mention the development that we'll most likely see again as well. I mean, I'll be very surprised if a 71 rated player is our highest by the end of Season 2. And what did I tell you, guys? Olofsson is now 75 overall, our highest rated player. I've got to be honest though, I'm surprised our keeper is our highest rated player. But as you can see, it's not just Olofsson. Ahmed, Lopez, Hyatt, Parsons, Zheng, all of them are really growing well. I feel like Malcolm Zheng's gone really under the radar. Only 19 and he's 70 rated already. Maybe he's going to be our endgame centre-back. And thankfully, this year's stats are far better than last year's. 15-2 for Milskog and 13-1 for Salak. And as you can see from the team on paper, everybody's not only short, but really, really happy. I reckon we've defo jumped up a couple of places in the league. And would you look at that? We are 4th in the Allsvenskan in our 2nd year in it. Only 14 points away from actually winning it. Mark my words, guys. Give me 3 more years with IK Sirius and we'll be winning the Allsvenskan every year without fail. Unfortunately, though, in the League Cup, we only made it to the group stage. As you can see, we only finished 3rd in group FC. Just to clarify as well, I completely missed this part last year. I just assumed it worked like the FA Cup in the Premier League, but apparently not. It works like the UCL, fair enough. But coming back to the team for a sec, as we all know, because of the rules, we can now sign free agents as high rated as 75 overall, and I really do think that's going to bode well for us in Season 3. Because if we're lucky enough to sign 3 players higher than 70 overall, I reckon it's not going to be long before we're knocking on European football's door. And guys, we're beginning to get backing by the board. We've got 7 mil in total to spend this year. I mean, it's a shame we can't actually use all of this. We can only sign 3 free agent players, but it's nice that they're backing us. But we're facing last year's problem again, guys. All these players pretty much in this starting team are not only growing quite well, but they're proving every year why they belong in the team. But if our goal is indeed European football next year, we're going to have to be ruthless, man. We only get 3 signings a year. It's time to make them count now. And I think one of those signings has to be on a new right back. I mean, Pearson is decent, only in his mid-20s, 66 overall, but I've got a feeling there's a better right back free agent out there that we can sign. But I've got to be real, everybody else's development plan apart from Pearson is looking really good right now, so I reckon the best course of action in Season 3 is find the highest rated players I can possibly find, sign them, and then go from there. But first things first, we need a new right back, and Xavi Grande looks phenomenal, only 19, 66 overall. I mean, he's definitely better than Pearson, so he's going straight into the team. As for the next 2 signings, well, one of them is going to be Gerard Gumbau. I know he's 30, but he's 73 overall. I'm going to sign this guy, and all we've got to do then is loan out the younger centre mids and hope that they surpass him in the long term. And following him is a baller by the name of Danny DeLu. He's only 17 himself, 71 overall. I reckon in another 4 years' time, he could be one of the world's best. And just like that, our 3 transfers have been used, wrapping up yet another transfer window. But once again, I'm not done. I'm going to be loaning all these players out just to ensure that the players in the starting 11 are getting the game time that they need. I mean, I still don't trust this game when it comes to that, to be honest. And I've just this second noticed Olafsson 76 rated as opposed to 75 overall. I haven't messed with it because there isn't a +1 by his number. I mean, fair enough, I guess. But as you can see, going into Season 3, guys, this team is looking pretty damn decent. I don't think we're too far away from becoming the best team in Sweden, you know. I mean, obviously the main objective this year is to try and qualify for European football by finishing inside the top 3, but if we win the league, I'm not exactly going to complain about that, am I? And I'm not complaining about this either. Some of our players are really starting to shine through, man. Our team's really coming along every year without fail. And finally, so are the stats. 19 and 5 for Pearson, 16 and 4 for Danny DeLu, and 15 and 2 for Milskog as well. Shout out to Malka Haya, by the way, 19 goal contributions in 40 games. Fair play. But the bad news is they're not as happy as they have been the previous 2 seasons, which leads me to believe we haven't done as well. And it is unfortunately the case, guys. We're 5th in the Allsvenskan League. I mean, we aren't far off Djurgardens IF, 11 points from the title, but we're still not really quite getting it, are we? As for the League Cup, we once again got grouped. I mean, this is a shame, man. I thought with this format we'd have done better, but if anything, we're doing worse. But get a load of this. We actually qualified for the Conference League this year. I mean, we unfortunately didn't make it past the group stage, but this is a really good sign. We're already in Europe. I'm not sure if 5th in the Allsvenskan League gets you European football, but we absolutely know that 4th place does, so that's the bare minimum of what we need to achieve every year now. And I think next season onwards, we'll definitely be able to achieve that, especially now that we can sign players as high rated as 78 overall now. It's just a case now of figuring out where exactly we're going to make signings for, because honestly, right now, I'm not too sure. But as we enter Season 4, guys, I know exactly who we need to replace. Humam Ahmed is one of them. I mean, he is in his mid-20s, fair enough, but he's 74 overall, and I've seen his development plan, and it's not looking good. I also want more depth for our centre-back role, because Zheng and Lopez, whilst they are improving at a very quick rate right now, that doesn't mean it's going to be like that in 3 years' time, does it? And it's the same story with our wingers, Pearson and Milskog. Very good right now, very good development, but in 3 years' time, is it going to be the same? I don't really know. All I know is, guys, we need to be prepared for the worst, which is why I'm signing Colombian right midfielder Rafael Blanco. I mean, he's 19, 71 overall, won't make the starting 11, but I'm probably just going to loan this guy straight out and hope for the best anyway. I've also found 18-year-old centre-back, Landbruk, 72 rated now, half decent. Nothing special though, so we're just going to loan this guy straight back out. But guys, we saved the best till last. Diego D'Angelo, only 19, 76 rated. That's 2 ratings higher than our current left back, which means it's an absolute no-brainer to sign this guy. And after signing Diego D'Angelo on a 5-year deal, that wraps up business for Season 4. Now granted, looking at the team, it's basically the same apart from D'Angelo added to it, but right now, everybody in this starting 11 is still growing and still improving, so hopefully they can continue to do that by the end of this season too. And hopefully we can get IK Sirius back into the top 4, man. That's the bare minimum now, 4th place, because we know that's what we need to get European football. But the lads went above and beyond this year. We are the best team in Sweden. We've won the Allsvenskan by God knows how many points because I'm terrible at maths, but we're the best in Sweden now. And that means, if I'm not mistaken, we get a chance to qualify for the Champions League next year, and that is absolutely massive. We still can't make it past the quarters of the Swedish League Cup though, can we? And as you can see guys, no European football this year because last season we finished 5th. But man, look at this team. Just look at it. Obviously, we've got a lot of work to do next year to prep these guys for the Champions League. But right now, we are looking phenomenal. And the stats don't look bad either. 20-3 for Danny DeLu, 29 for Persson, and 14-3 for Milskog. Even 18 goal contributions for Malka, higher as well. But more importantly, our highest rated players in the team now are Olofsson and also Persson. Both 80 overall, meaning next year onwards, we can now sign players 80 overall. And considering the fact that we might be playing UCL football next year, that couldn't come at a better time because we need better midfielders, maybe a better right back, and definitely a better right winger. But not only do we need that free agents list to deliver us the goods next year, we need to figure out which 3 positions we need to sign for because there's 4 we need to sort out, remember. Now here we are guys, Season 5 with IK Sirius, and we're still facing the same problem we faced at the end of last year, which 3 positions we're going to buy for. But I've gone through our squad up guys, and Rafael Blanco 78 overall. Now this is confusing to me because if you go back to the end of last year, he's still on loan to West Ham United I think, and he's 75 rated, so I don't know what's gone on there. But at the same time, I'm not complaining because that's our right winger all sorted for now. Which leaves us to sort out the 2 centre midfielders and also our right back. And once we sort those positions out, honestly, I think we're going to do pretty well in the UCL if we do qualify, that is. But we can't get ahead of ourselves guys. We still need to find good free agent players to put into that starting 11. We just need to hope it delivers. And you know what? It's not a bad start. Donny van der Beek, I mean, he's nothing special, don't get me wrong, but he's certainly better than the players we've currently got in the midfield. So for that reason alone, he's now an IK Sirius player. But I've got lucky with this one. Enzo Collin, a 21-year-old right back who's 76 overall. I mean, he's certainly better than the one we currently got, so this one's a no-brainer. But guys, I've ran into an issue. I've gone through this centre midfielder free agents list for ages now, and apart from Donny van der Beek, there's nobody else I can bring into this team, so I'm going to have to adapt and improvise a little bit here. I'm going to look for a CDM instead. Maybe if we find a decent CDM, we can change the formation to the 4-2-3-1 and then go from there. And luckily, I found a half-decent short-term solution, guys. 31-year-old Wallace, I mean, he's a CDM, he's 75 rated, nothing special, but for now at least he'll do a job. And with that 3rd and final signing, guys, that's business wrapped up for Season 5. And as you can see, guys, I've not mucked around changing things up. The 4-2-3-1 is in effect, and to be honest, guys, the team actually looks better for it, I think. We will, however, be using the counter-attacking tactical vision going forward. I don't think wing play will be as effective as counter-attacking in this formation. And to be honest, guys, we've got a lot to live up to this year. Last season, we won the Allsvenskan by quite a big margin, so not only do I want to do that again, I want to do pretty well in Europe too. And we have, ladies and gents, we are back-to-back Swedish champions. That's our 2nd trophy now with IK Sirius. We still can't get past the quarters in the Swedish League Cup though. At some point, I'd really love to win this. Unfortunately, we've got a long way to go before we're doing well in the UCL, as we were in Group D alongside Club Brugge, Milan and Dortmund, and as you can see, we got torn apart. But then again, I could be being a little bit too harsh on IK Sirius, because that realistically is the group of death, isn't it? But then again, guys, you look at the starting team, team, and I kind of take back what I just said. I reckon we're better than 2 points in that group. Especially with our front four doing this: 28-3 for Delu, 17-14 for Person, 10-2 for Blanco, and 7-5 for Malkahaye. But one thing is for certain going forward, we can literally buy whoever we want in that free agents list. I can't see any player in that free agents list being better than 84 overall. And if we can find a couple of midfielders and a centre back better than 80 overall, I reckon it's not going to take us too long to start doing well in the Champions League. But guys, we've just entered Season 6 and we're starting this by signing an absolutely game-changing player. I've signed Edison or Allison's pre-gen Leonardo Barbosa. I mean, he's 17, already 77 rated, and got a market value of 16.5 million. This guy's a monster in the making. He won't make it into the starting team yet. We're going to loan him out for a season or two, but this is a phenomenal start to Season 6. I mean, obviously we need 2 midfielders and a centre-back, so I've kind of shafted us in that regard, but I could not pass the opportunity up to not sign him. But to be fair, the free agents list is delivering this year. Another 17-year-old player, CDM Raul Soria, 75 overall. I mean, he's not amazing right now, but in the future, he definitely could be. And we've got another youngster, Alex Cabrera, 18, 76 overall at 6'4". Oh my god, we're going to have an absolute monstrous centre-back partnership. And just like that, yet another transfer window is in the books after signing both of these youngsters. And guys, we're getting there. We're slowly but surely getting there with IK Sirius. We just need these 3 positions right here to catch up with the rest of the team, and we are golden. As for expectations this year, I'm not too fussed about the Als fan scam. We've won it the last 2 years. We surely should make it 3 in a row. I'm more focused and bothered about how we do in the Champions League. I'm not saying we're going to get out of the group stage. I don't think we're there yet for that. However, I do not want to finish rock bottom like we did this time last year. I mean, our front 4 alone should realistically take care of that for us. It's just our 2 CDMs and our centre-back Cabrera that I'm a little bit worried about. But I don't think we should worry too much, as once again, for the 3rd time in a row, we are the Allsvenskan champions. Get it! And we finally won the Swedish Cup, beating Malmo to freaking do it. IK Sirius have got Swedish football by the balls now. But guys, I've been through every group stage in the UCL and we didn't qualify for it. I think we qualified for the Europa League instead. And I was right, guys. We were in Group C alongside Genk, Dynamo Zagreb and Apiol FC, and we got freaking grouped. Actually, no, we didn't. We got sent to the Conference League preliminary round, where we'll be facing St. Gallen. I'm not being funny, guys. I'm actually quite proud of this, because if you think about it, this is the furthest we've ever made it in a European competition, so this is a win. And I'm not being funny, but looking at the state of this team, I feel like we should be one of the favourites to win the Conference League, despite Wallace being 75 overall. I mean, Danny Delu certainly showed up to the races. 29-5 this year for him, 16-5 for Blanco, 16-8 for Person too. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, I sent Barbosa out on loan for a couple of years, and look, already 79 rated. Truth be told, we're in a very good position right now. We just need a single CDM or centre midfielder better than Wallace, and we will be good to freaking go. But guys, I'm happy to say that as we enter Season 7, we have finally found a midfielder to go into that starting 11. And his name is Alex Meyer, guys. 18, 6'5", and he's 76 rated, and he's an exciting prospect as well. We've landed on an absolute gold mine. And we couldn't have timed that any better, because Wallace is now 33 years old. He's 75 rated now. By the end of the year, he's 71 overall. And with Meyer in the starting team now, guys, I don't even think we need to focus on it anymore, because all that team needs now is time to improve. I think we focus our attention on the bench, but to be fair, guys, it's kind of stacked in its own right as well, isn't it? I mean, we don't have a second choice keeper right now, but we do have Barbosa out on loan, and I don't really plan on having him as a second choice keeper when he comes back. I want Olafsson to drop to the bench whilst he goes into the starting team. Having said that, though, we don't have a backup attacking midfielder, so that's one thing we could look for, and we could also look for a better midfielder, because Martin's 72 overall. And I found a half-decent centre mid already in Sanderberg. I mean, he's 30, so we'll probably get 3 years out of him at best, but he's 78 overall and will defo do a job on the bench. And we found Tristan de Grief, a Belgian attacking midfielder, still pretty young to be fair, and a decent player. I mean, he's not going to get into the starting team, but for depth he'll definitely do. And that is yet another transfer window in the books, ladies and gents, after signing Tristan de Grief and also Sander Berge. And to be fair, it could be one of our last transfer windows, as I don't think it'll take long for Meyer, Soria and Cabrera to catch up with the rest of the team. team, and once that happens, it's game over for Europe. And speaking of Europe, guys, I haven't forgotten that we're in the Conference League, as we've made it through to the round of 16 after beating St. Gallen 4-3 on aggregate. And we've also beaten PSV to get through to the quarters. And we've beaten Leeds United to get to the semis. But we lose to Frankfurt 5-3 in the semis. That's gutting, man. I honestly thought we were going to win the Conference League. We were looking so good in every stage. I mean, looking at the team halfway through, Maya, Sorier and Cabrera are certainly doing their part to catch up with the team. So hopefully in the Champions League, we can actually get out of the group stage this time. But let's forget about the Champions League for a sec. What are we playing at in the Allsvenskan? We're second in the league, 1 point behind Malmo. What is going on there? With the team we've got, we shouldn't be losing any games in this league, quite frankly. All due respect to Swedish football, we are levels above everybody in this league now. At the very least, though, guys, we have won the Swedish Cup, but I'm not freaking happy about losing the title. But get a load of this, we are through to the round of 16 after just scraping past our group, man. Real Madrid absolutely stormed it, but we only made it through with 2 wins. How does that even work? Oh my god, that wasn't an easy group either. Madrid, Salzburg and Atalanta. How do Atalanta finish rock bottom of this group, man? That's mental. But looking at this team, guys, I'm surprised we've only just scraped out of that group, because quite frankly, I'd say we're better than Salzburg and Atalanta combined. I mean, look at these stats. Oh my god, 33-3 for Delu, 21-11 for Pearson, 16-8 for Blanco, and 10-7 for Hayek. We are slowly but surely getting there. Granted, we didn't have the best campaign in the Allsvenskan, but in Europe, on the other hand, we've had the best one yet. We're in the knockouts of the Champions League. That's amazing. Unfortunately, the team we're facing next year in the round of 16 is indeed Bayern Munich. So that free agents list needs to come in freaking clutch for us to help us prepare as much as possible for the German Giants. I'll be honest though, guys, I'm very disappointed in this free agents list, because I've looked through it for the past 15 to 20 odd minutes and I've only found like 3 players at max that might just fit the bench. The first one being Alexis Becker, 28, 78 rated. To be fair, he's not a bad player, but right now he's definitely not what we're after in the starting team. There's also Finley Burns, who quite frankly is worse than Becker. But to be fair, I saved the best one till last. Umar Bambi, he's 19, he's 79 rated with a market value of 24 mil already. Give this guy like a year or 2 maybe on loan and he'll turn into a freaking monster. But as I've already said, guys, these are the only 3 players that I've found that are half decent enough to get onto the bench. It's really disappointing, but it is what it is, isn't it? This means that the team will indeed remain the same going into Season 8. I mean, to be fair, maybe our expectations were a little bit too high. We are only allowed to sign free agents after all, aren't we? Unfortunately, though, this may not bode well for our chances against Bayern Munich. I mean, it truly is a baptism by fire, isn't it? Our first knockout game in the UCL, and it's against the German Giants. To be fair, though, this team for the most part is world class. I mean, especially our front 4. It's literally just the midfield I'm worried about, but I guess only time will tell how we do. And time has told us we are slacking in the league, guys. 3 points behind Malmo and AIK. I mean, what are we playing at? We've got one of the best teams in the world. We didn't even win the Swedish Cup, man. Halmstad's BK beat us in the semis on penalties. This is atrocious. But guys, we've pulled a miracle out the bag. We've knocked Bayern Munich out in the round of 16, 2-0 on aggregate. Guys, we're in the quarters. And we're in the semis after beating Barca 3-2 on aggregate. We could be playing Leverkusen, Juve or Sporting. Oh my god, give me Sporting. How are they still in this? I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. We've smashed Juve 6-3 in the semis and we're playing Sporting in the final. How the hell has that happened? This is genuinely one of the most unlikely finals I think you'll ever see in FC24. IK Sirius versus Sporting CP to compete to being the best in the world. I mean, all due respect, I'm looking at that team and there's some decent players in there, and Nacho, Gyökeres, Fatawi, but they should not be in the UCL final. But when you look at our stats, we defo deserve to be 19-5 for Delu, 14-6 for Blanco, and 13-10 for Joachim Pearson. I mean, what a front 3 we've actually got. And what a team we've built to get to the UCL final, guys. And what a freaking season Maya's had so far. 2 overall improvements halfway through. What a baller. And when you look back at what we've achieved with IK Sirius, I think we've done a damn good job. 3-time Swedish Swedish champions and 2-time Swedish League Cup winners too. But now we have the chance to win the big one, the absolute biggest trophy you can win at club level, the Champions League. All we've got to do now is beat Sporting CP to do it. Pearson's on the ball. We've got past Fresneda like he's not even there. That's a great start. There's nobody in the box though, so we're going to have to try and cut in. That's real. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God. There's literally from kickoff, we pulled that off. 4 minutes into the game, we're 1-0 up. That was absolutely sensational. Fair freaking play, man. That was beautiful. We genuinely could not have started this game any better if we tried. That's the dream start. Blanco's on the ball now. Oh my days, referee. That's a red card straight away, surely. Send him. Oh my God, there's no yellow card for that even. That's a disgraceful decision, ref. What's even more disgraceful is I can't even take freaking free kicks. Our best free kick taker, though, as I've just seen, is higher. I tell you what, let's put 3 bars of power on this and see what happens. Honestly, I've got no words for that, man. I'm just shit at free kicks. But here we come. We've got a bit of room in behind. That's a great first touch. Nope. Can he get it in? Good save. Hyatt is on the corner. Can we get a good... That's a beautiful delivery. Shocking header, though. Here comes Sporting, though, with Gyökeres. We need to close them down. That's a great bit of defending Cabrera. Fair enough. We've got the ball now. We've got a counter-attack en route. Oh, look at this person. Surely this is 2-0. Surely to God. There we go. 34 minutes in. We are comfortably in the lead now. All that from a great bit of defending from Cabrera, man. And it's Pearson with the goal. He set the first one up and he bangs the second one in. Oh, here comes freaking Sporting. That's phenomenal keeping. Good save. Here they come, though, early in the second half. Fatuu's on the ball. He's been a freaking good player for them, but he's not good enough to get past us. But I'll tell you who is a good player, Blanco. Look at him go. Oh, my God, I see that run in the middle. Can we get it over to him? No, we can't. We should have just taken that with Blanco. Who's on the ball now, though? We are surrounded here, but oh, look who's on the ball once again. Oh, what am I doing, you absolute moron? He moved away. I was going to feed him inside. Oh, that's such a missed opportunity there. Miscommunication. And now Sporting are coming forward. They're going to try and sweat this. No, they're going to take a shot. Great save, Olofsson. Oh my God, what the freaking hell is that, man? Olofsson, if you're gonna come get it, freaking get it. I'm not being funny. He pulls off a great save like seconds before. He goes up for it and completely misses it. Stupid bloody donkey, man, costing us a goal. What are you playing at? We do have options going forward, though. Soria on the ball. He's taking a power shot. Good save. Blanco's on the ball. Soria once again. Oh, that's a gorgeous ball. Surely that's 3-1. Oh, my days. How many saves are you going to make in a single freaking game? Honestly, if it wasn't for their keeper, we'd be about 5-1 up at this point. That's a good delivery. Oh, you're not saving that one, are you, though, dickhead? Look at that for a goal. Gorgeous corner in. Back post. And that is an absolute bullet of a header. Precision, direction, power, everything you need for a goal. That was sensational, man. Is that the nail in the coffin? I don't know, but I think it might be. Well, that's not going to stop me from trying to get one more goal as we're defending really well, and now it's our turn to attack. Oh my days, our striker might be good, but he's got the touch of a freaking brick wall. Well, that's the full-time whistle, guys. It is all over. The nail was officially in the coffin. We've beaten Sporting 3-1 in the finals to make IK Sirius the best team in the world. We did that with free agents only, man. 3 free agent signings a freaking year. Only signing players as high rated as our highest rated player. 8 years it took us, but we finally freaking did it. And for those of you asking for IK Sirius, you can stop asking now because it's finally freaking done. And that's where we're going to wrap things up, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you are new around here. And if you enjoyed me doing this with IK Sirius, you should click right here to watch me do this with Oxford United.